have Welcome to the channel. Here we have Studzianski. We have 3 skirmishes on that map, and we have 2 skirmishes against Loyal at the end on 2 different maps. So on Studzianski, you either go north and own the factory and the far north hill there, or you go south and you own the little town and the river. So in this case, we're looking at a very fast lineup. We call to go south and go own the town. One thing we don't factor in when we're calling this one is the speed of the other team. So right off the bat, Slappy in the middle is our offside scout. He sees there are 2 slow tanks. We do not see there's fast tanks at all. So we're thinking at this point that they're up north, or at least the heavies are up north, and the fast ones are going to be down here. And we haven't seen anything, and at this point we pretty much commit to going over to the other side. Now we're pretty slow, and I mean we're not really slow, we're not heavy tank slow, but we're not Cromwell fast. So this committing like this, you'll see how it turns out to be a mistake. We see the M6, so we continue going, thinking we can get around to his side and start shooting him. And we do have 130-45 out in the back to try to defend Cap when the time comes, and we'll learn more about that as time goes on. So now we spot the Type 64, and they've got 2 on our Cap, and we don't know where all the rest of the tanks are. Now they've got 3 on our Cap. We know it's not the 2 heavies, but that leaves 5 other tanks, and pretty sure they're all over there. We all turn around. Mini dump drops already on them. You'll see that does a little bit of damage. Actually kills one of the Cromwells. It leaves them with 4 on account of 4 tanks that are all in that area. And Mini's trying to get shots on him. He's in a primo position for that, but as it turns out, there's a destructible house in the way, and so nobody's able to actually see the targets. We get a couple of tanks that get into position, but they can't see the targets, and they don't think to shoot down the house, and then it's too late. So the 2 lessons we learned in that, one was the house has got to go, and the other is when it's a fast lineup to maybe not commit until we know where those fast tanks are. So now we run into the next battle on that same map. We have pretty much the same tank lineup, maybe some slightly different players. I wasn't even paying attention to who was playing. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to the south. We don't feel like the strat we had the last time was bad. We just feel like we didn't account properly for the Cromwells. So look at that. First thing we do is get rid of that house. No hiding from us this time. And we knock over the other little structure. Same place. Slappy in this T-37 is going to go scout the middle. The rest of us are going to go into the little town, and we're going to leave 1 tank kind of in back. He can kind of support the town and defend the base at the same time from up on the little hill where he goes. Slappy spots a 30-45 and a 59-16. Now Coffee likes to play over to the left here a little bit. I like to play this bush over on the right. I cut off, I think, Merrick there a little bit. Now we're not committing. Coffee goes over. The rest of us are not committing. Now we've seen at least 1 Cromwell on this side, so I'm not going to panic too much about Cromwells on the other side, so we do commit at this point. Poodle's moving away. And we run into 2 Cromwells over here. And 2 more tanks. So actually there's 5 over here. Surprise, surprise. The only thing that's not here is the pool, and I'm guessing the 59-16. And our guys on the outside are shooting the poodle. Frost takes him out. Oh, I'm sorry, Slappy got him. Frost took a shot into him. These guys cross right in front of me. I was kind of amazed that P43 survived where he is as long as he did. And now Slappy and Mini have the 5916 out in the field. They're going to deal with him. And we're just taking out targets as we see them at this point. This Cromwell's been shooting me. He's knocked down all my cover. I get hit a couple times. I'm like, okay, I'm done in this spot. I don't have any cover. So I back off a little bit. Frost goes around the outside to take on the P43. Now it's me and Coffee over here. I think Touchy's also over here with me, and Mini Dump and Slappy out in the field. We get a shot into the P43. At this point, it's pretty much just take shots as you get them. This Cromwell comes racing in. I don't know what he was thinking. I get a shot into him. Touchy gets a shot into him. I miss a shot, and I get finished off. Meanwhile, Slappy and Mini are racing over. They finish off their target. Slappy takes out the one shot first. And Touchy's going against that 30-45. Cromwell tries to circle him, but Slappy's hunting the Cromwell. And you don't see him on the camera, but Mini Dump's coming in from the left, so it's 3-on-1, and we finish it off in short measure. So nothing special there. We brawled pretty good. Guys didn't take too many big risks, and they always had support, which worked out well. And one more time, same map. This time a KV-85, an Easy Deuce, and a Hellcat are notable. On a VK-36, so 2 heavy tanks, a medium that might as well be a heavy, an autoloader, and a Hellcat are the notable additions to this one. And we're going to set up and play the same strat again. Heck, it worked, right? It actually should have worked twice, but we blew that first one. So we might as well keep the same strat. Slappy's in the middle. So far he doesn't see anything. With a setup like this, I'm wholly expecting them to camp. I expect them to be behind the berm. So like where the KV-85 is behind the berm, but the VK is with him and they're moving in. I would have expected, like I said, for them to camp all the way in the back by their cap around the berm. Maybe even hidden in the woods. So we know a lot of them are over here. With the Type 64, and I miss. I really demonstrate my ultimate shooting skills here. I miss again. Failure to lead the target, and I miss one more time. He's almost dead. Alright, he goes and hides in the back and snipes for a little while. Counting tanks, we decided they were all here, so Mini Dump and Slappy have moved in. I'm going to try to get an RD shot off. They're very bunched up. Looks like it was completely ineffective. And thank you, VK36, moving right into my gunshots. Oh look, the 3045 took the shot for you. And he's looking the other way, and I'm just going to farm some damage here. Meanwhile, I think that's what the rest of the team is doing. We finish off the VK. I get spotted in the Type 64 that's hiding in the woods. Take some shots at me. Pretty even right now, but they have a couple of really low tanks. And the KV-85 lets me track him. And we try to finish him off. He's done. The Hellcat parks in the middle, poking out over here. Put a shot into him. And the Merrick's going across. I want to support him, so I start heading across. Mini Dump's already in the trench, and the 4257 finishes him off. I change my plan. I decide I got to take out the 4257 so he doesn't shoot us from behind. I think ODAT comes with me. Somebody comes in the ditch with me because somebody else shoots him right here. And then I finish him off. Then we're going to climb up to support ODAT. I'm sorry, to support Merrick. The Type's still in the back. I'm conscious of that. And the Hellcat's right here. So I'm hesitant to I'm taking shots and missing the snipe. I haven't hit him the whole game. I'm hesitant to poke out there and go around. I know we have the numbers, so we could go around. I just don't want to take the shots. Oh, that's almost full health. He just goes around, starts taking out the Hellcat. I think he crashes into him right there on purpose and finishes him off. And now we have just the one-shot Type 64. So it was well played on our part. Everybody kept getting shots. We didn't really get the opportunity to focus that much because it wasn't an open enough map for that. And now we're going to take on Loyal. Now Loyal is, I believe, a top 25 or minimum of top 50 team, very high ranked, really good tier 6 rating. And we were nowhere near that at the time. And this is, if not our first, maybe our second battle of the night. We have a couple of people that don't skirmish very often with us. Kaniela, he does skirmish with us, but it's infrequent. Merrick, it's his first night in months. Frost has never skirmished with us before at all. And we're going to run a strat that we've run before. It's succeeded, it's failed, so it's 50-50. Send the T-37 to light the hill. The Cromwells are going to support them off on the south, and the 30-45s are going to go and just hold the map in the center of the hill where the heavies usually go. And we spot their 59-16 right off the bat. They've got an OI and they've got, I think, a T-150. They've got a couple of heavy tanks. And we spot those. And what's unusual is that we spot them going into the middle. We spot the 30-45s in the middle. So now our 30-45s, we need to pull up and get our guns in the game. I go take a notice I got spotted there. I decide I'm going to go over here and take bushes and try to snipe. And the key to that was I got spotted there, and anybody worth a darn knows exactly where I'm going. And guess what happens? There you go. One arty strike. Totally destroys me, takes 3/4 of Merrick's health. So now we're down at pretty much a tank and a half. We know approximately where they are, but they're way heavier than us, so the hit point advantage at this point is huge on their part. And actually, coming into this battle, we didn't think that they were all that good. They brought the 3 heavies and an artillery, which a lot of times indicates a team that's not that good. After the fact, I looked up their statistics, and they are indeed a good team. Somehow, Mini Dump manages to fall off the cliff and crash and die. So, I mean, this battle just goes poorly from the get-go. I've asked the Cromwell, the fast tanks, the Cromwell and the T-37 to try to circle around, at least eliminate the arty, and maybe get some shots on their flank. Meanwhile, our guys, they have shots on them, but they're not faring very well. Coffee gets hit by the OI, and they're both missing a lot of shots. And the heavy tanks are coming off the hill, and they're pretty much going to come right at us. And Coffee gets eliminated. I see those tanks coming at him, and Frost is all by himself, so I say, Frost, you got to get out of there. I ask him to go with our tanks. I'm in the process of doing that. He gets shot up a couple times here, gets shot from behind, hit by the OI. So I was hoping he was going to stay full health and be able to combine up with our guys. That didn't quite work out. Still needs to combine up with our guys. I'm coaching him at this point, telling him where the tanks are behind him, telling him when he's got to turn. Turn now. So that T-150 chases him, KV-85 pops up. I tell him, turn, you got to turn left now. So he got out of the range of the KV-85, and unfortunately there's so many tanks on the battlefield that I run him right into the unspotted T-150. It might have been the OI that shot him even, who knows. Now we're down to just the T-37 and the Cromwell. T-37 gets shot by the Cromwell, by the arty, who spotted him and knew he was coming, he said. And now it's just Daniel Caniella. And, you know, he's 1 tank against 4, doesn't really stand a chance. He's going to try anyways, but that was pretty much the end of the game. So that was unusual on their part, that they went down into the dip like that, like the heavies were going to climb up on the hill. Hadn't seen that before. We didn't play it well, we didn't respond well to it, and it didn't help that their artillery took out the tank and a half right at the beginning. So now we're going to go up against the same team, Loyal again. This time they're running 2 light tanks and the KV-85 and that Skoda T-40, and we're running ours pretty close to our lineup we've had all night. We have a T-37 and 1 Cromwell, and the rest of them are 30-45s. And we have a strat that we pretty much run a lot of the time on this map. We send our light tank out to scout. Maybe we've got to see where they're going, and the rest of us are going to post up over here until we get some information. And right off the bat, Slappy spots them coming to the middle. Now this is a strat I've seen some of the better teams run quite often. I don't know if it's something that they run in higher tiers or not, but they all go to the middle and they spread out in the windows and stuff at the beginning, and then until they figure out where we are. I got spotted. I'm like, what the heck spotted me? So I back up right into the window and get shot at by the Type 64, who is the guy who indeed spotted me. So they know we're over here. We know they're over there. I send Slappy to get up on the hill and see if he can get sight lines on them and spot them for us. At this point, we're just going to wait for... Actually, we're waiting for Slappy or for something to break. Mostly I'm waiting for Slappy. I didn't think that they would move at this point. Another thing about some of the higher ranked teams, the better scoring teams, is they are aggressive. And you're going to see that aggression momentarily. What? The Skoda T-40 is right up here. Okay, you want to play it that way? Oh look, there's 3 tanks there. And there's a tank behind us. Or not behind us, but on the other flank. And they push into us. So they have 4 tanks here pushing into... I guess it's 4 tanks, but we're in a better position than them. Actually, we ended up having 5 able to get shots on them because of how deeply they pushed. And we focused on fire, pretty much take out the low health tanks. Pretty close right now. I wanted to get a shot on the Skoda to finish him off, but I missed and hit the other tank. Finish off the Skoda there. It's still pretty even. The KV-85 is all by himself. I asked our 30-45 instead of facing with him to come up with us. Slappy's still up on the hill. And we got 2 tanks kind of trapped right now, so we're going to move in on them. I say, let's get 2 tanks on one side, 1 tank on the other. I expected it to be the other way around. I expected me to be alone on this side and 2 on the other, but 1 came to be with me. And we move in. So that KV-85 is all by himself, but Slappy's going to go find him. And we need to finish these guys off. So we flank them, and they're looking at Touchy, and you see that I don't know how to drive here. Touchy's just got enough cover by a rubble to not get killed by the KV-85, although he backed up into it, so we did. So we finish off the 59-16 anyways, and this KV-85 is surrounded by 3 tanks, and we take him out in a little bit of retribution. And we were very happy with that battle because, like I said, they're very much higher ranked than we are. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the views I get. I love doing this. I love Tier 6 skirmishes. It's what I got into the game for. Watching the professionals play the 7v7 format with the strategy and the tactics involved. It can depend on your teammates, hopefully, and sometimes even the enemy's predictable. I love sharing it with you guys. I hope that my insights have helped your game somewhat, or helped your strategies or your tactics. I hope it doesn't help you against us, but I hope it helps you overall. And again, thank you for watching, and see you on the battlefield.